Hello there. I'm gonna be a little bit more hoarse than usual today because I spent a majority of the last week sick and I'm still very much on the mend right now. But I did spend a lot of time last week drinking more tea than usual, and it just so happens that I was already planning on talking about tea this week, so maybe the universe had a plan. Regardless, the plan today is to make 3 delicious, unique tea-based signature beverages. This is for all of you people who are like, I like your channel, but I don't drink coffee, or perhaps you're someone who is looking for a less caffeinated, non-alcoholic option. Regardless, whatever your reasons, today is going to be fun, and while we make these, I want you to cook up some names for these drinks in your noggin. I don't have any names assigned to these, and if you leave them in the comments, I'll pick my favorites to actually title these drinks with. Without further ado, let's begin. I will mention it literally every time I use these. I love having trays in the studio. Okay, now our first tea-based drink we're gonna be making today is very much a very relevant one to the last week I had. It's kind of the blend between a medicine ball and also a hot toddy. It's very, very warm and cozy and refreshing and very like fall and winter appropriate. Now today's video is sponsored by Drink Donna, who has been generous enough to provide us with all the teas we're using today. And the first tea we're gonna be making this drink off of is gonna be their Hari River Mint. This is a very like soft and floral and delicate mint, which is really my preference. I'm not a huge fan of mint flavor in beverages, but this tea is really, really nice. And in this combination with our other warming ingredients, it is truly quite a treat. I'm gonna try not to spill tea everywhere. Let's begin our session. For our ingredients, of course, our mint tea from Drink Donna. We have honey, we have lemon juice, along with some lemons for garnish. We have fresh ginger, and then we also have a stick of cinnamon. Pretty easy ingredients. Let's begin brewing. Also, I am so sorry for the amount of sniffling I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to like keep it as mild as possible. I'm gonna use about 2.5 grams of our Hari mint tea. This water is at about 205 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm using about 250 mils in total, and we're gonna let it steep for about 5 minutes. Now, one of the things I totally forgot to do, which we're just gonna do now, is I'm actually gonna pop in our pieces of ginger into this hot water as well, so that it can steep alongside our mint, along with that cinnamon stick. Now, one thing that I just did that one would traditionally do prior to adding the water is actually add those ginger slices along with the cinnamon into the bottom so that it steeps along with your tea. Of course, do that before, but if you do it afterwards and have a little Dayquil moment like I just did, it's totally fine. Steep for 5 minutes, we'll be right back. Into our serving glass, I'm gonna add about 3/4 ounces of honey. You can adjust to sweetness as you like. Some people like a little bit more, a little bit less. 3/4 ounces feels like a pretty happy medium. Similarly, 3/4 ounces fresh lemon juice. Give this a little bit of a stir. Once our tea is done, we'll add that full amount in there. I honestly like to continue to let that cinnamon steep. We'll toss in a wheel of fresh lemon, one last stir, and let's enjoy. I'm so excited about this. It is such a perfect marriage between a medicine ball and a hot toddy. This is incredibly warm and comforting and perfect for winter and fall. And frankly, I could chug this all right now, but we do have 2 more drinks to make, so let's continue. Our next drink falls far closer to a mocktail than it does really anything else. And this is a fun one that I think kind of fits into the tail end of summer, but you could really take into winter if you wanted to as well. For this, we're gonna be using Drink Donna's Garden Lemongrass tea as our base. This has a really nice, almost citrusy, slightly woody taste to it that when brewed as a concentrate works really, really well as sort of a spirit replacement in our drink. Additionally, if there are any of the teas in this video that catch your eye or any of Drink Donna's other selections that you'd like to check out, if you go to drinkdonna.com and use code 25Morgan, you can get 25% off your purchase, which I think is a pretty great offer. If you haven't seen lemongrass tea before, this is what it looks like. Very grass-like. The aroma of it, very unique, a really fun ingredient to work with. Now, this is a single origin lemongrass tea from Nicaragua, and I kind of like to just reach in and grab what I need. We're brewing this as a concentrate, so I'm gonna add about twice the weight of tea that I normally would. I'm gonna maintain the water and the brewing time. Put about 4.5 to 5 grams of tea in here. Once more, about 205 Fahrenheit, brewed for 5 minutes. Once this is done cooling, we're gonna remove the loose leaf tea and allow this all to cool so that we can use it as a cool concentrate for an iced drink. So don't worry if any of that tea gets out of the straining basket, it will all settle on the bottom. No need to worry about that. Now, I have saved us the trouble of letting this steep and cool already, so we can continue on to our next steps. Let's talk about the remainder of our ingredients. Once more, as our sweetener, we're gonna be using honey. We have our pre-chilled lemongrass concentrate right here. I have freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. I also have Thai basil. You can use regular sweet basil if you prefer. However, the kind of more robust, like licorice spicy profile of Thai basil, I think works really well here. Additionally, I made us a little grapefruit sugar, which is just grapefruit zest and sugar for the rim of our glass. Again, we're going kind of fancy here. It's very exciting. And I think that's everything. You will also need some ice and a cocktail shaker. Into the smaller tin of our shaker, we're gonna add 2.5 ounces of our lemongrass concentrate, 1 full ounce of freshly squeezed grapefruit juice, 3/4 ounces of honey, and lastly, I'm gonna pick about 4 large to medium Thai basil leaves. Toss those right in there with everything. Let's shake everything. Strain into your glass with ice. And then our very last ingredient, just about an ounce or 2 of club soda up to the top, and a little bit of bubbles and effervescence. And a little bit of basil as our final garnish. And there you have it, a lemongrass basil something. Again, the name is up to you. This is kind of a spritz. It's not really a smash. It's something in between. Cheers. This is nice. This is very nice. I know we're not really in garden party season anymore, but this very much screams garden party to me. However, we still have one more drink, and it might be the one that is the easiest. So let's move on, and then we'll talk about our 3 drinks at the end. Okay, now I mentioned that I kept the simplest for last, but I also kept what I think is the most everyday of these drinks for last. This is gonna be an almond matcha latte. Very easy to make, very delicious. For this recipe, at its base, we're using Donna's Kyoto Matcha. This is truly one of my favorite matchas. If you look back at any of my videos, you'll see me using this. It is super high quality, incredibly flavorful and aromatic. It has this really nice, like nutty green quality that is absolutely lovely when paired with different milks, but especially with the syrup we're gonna pair it with. It's just really nice. Sometimes I struggle to come up with other words than just like nice, but truly it is. Just that lovely, beautiful green color. Okay, to build our matcha shot, if you will, we're gonna use about 2.5 grams of matcha powder. This is a bit more than you would use if you were making like a traditional matcha with hot water, but since we need it to be very strong of flavor to cut through both the milk and syrup we're adding, this is about appropriate. I'm using about 40 grams or 40 mils of hot water. And then of course, we whisk. I have my whisk sitting in some warm water so those bristles open up and soften, and then just a gentle kind of back and forth motion in here. Okay, now that our matcha is done, the remaining ingredients are pretty simple. For this drink, we're going to be using orgeat syrup. This is a syrup that is made using almonds and also orange blossom water, so it has a very, very sweet, nutty quality to it, but it's also a very floral syrup, which pairs nicely with kind of the more green notes found in matcha. You can make your own orgeat, or you can purchase it. Very easy to find. I'm using about half an ounce of syrup here. Again, always adjust to your own personal taste. In goes our matcha, and then we'll give everything a nice stir. Now you can enjoy this drink iced by simply adding your milk and ice now. However, we're gonna have a nice warm almond matcha. So let me go steam this up. I'll be right back. There we have it. If you don't mind, I'll have a sip now. It tastes like candy in the best possible way. It tastes like a delicious floral matcha candy. And there you have it. At long last, 3 tea-based signature drinks that are absolutely delicious. Fun to make, some of them easier, some of them a little bit more complex, and all of them unnamed. So, as I will remind you one more time, please leave me names down in the comments, because when I finally catalog and put these recipes on the site, I would like to pick some of those names and credit you all from them. Once more time, a huge thank you to Drink Donna for sponsoring today's video. If anything here caught your eye, be it the lemongrass or the mint or the matcha or anything else from their catalog, you can use code 25Morgan for 25% off your purchase. I guess I pick a drink now. Honestly, I think because I'm still on the tail end of being sick, I have to take the pseudo medicine ball here. Until next time, my name is Morgan. You can find me here on YouTube plus Shorts. Additionally, you can find me on TikTok or Instagram almost every single day. I'm so sorry for being slightly ill this week. I promise I'll be better next week. Until next time, I hope you have a good day. See you later, everyone.